Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever time of the day it is for you. Hello, and welcome back to Mother Base Radio. I'm your host, Todd, and we're on episode 20. Holy shit. I didn't think we'd get this far, to be honest. And I've probably said this a couple hundred, or if not 1,000 times, but this podcast is, you know, it's kind of like a test bed, really. We're trying out some stuff. We're getting comfortable with the idea of being recorded, being in front of a microphone, and then it being published somewhere on the internet, like YouTube or wherever I end up posting this podcast, which now it's actually has been YouTube consistently for the past couple weeks. But yeah, it's awesome that we've gotten this far, and even though, wow, it's 20 weeks, you know, that's quite a bit for a test bed. But really, this is, just as I said, it's kind of a practice run. We're just trying to kind of come up with a format, right, that we enjoy and that we're going to move forward with, because eventually this is going to kind of end, and we're going to start an actual podcast that, you know, I guess we're going to kind of push, like, and really go like public with it, assuming we're very comfortable with what we come up with, because you know, this one is really it is posted publicly technically on YouTube, but I only post it like on Mother Base and stuff like that, right? So that's really the only you guys are the only group of people that listens to this, or I would assume some of you do. I know some of you actually do, and I thank you for that. No one's obligated to listen to this, by the way. That's not the point of this, but I do appreciate anyone who has, and anyone who's more importantly left feedback for us. I know we've had a bit of it, and I do appreciate that. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to check in with that, you know. Something that I guess that I hope to improve in the coming weeks and months is the quality of the audio, which, you know, it's not amazing, right? Like, this is the thing. We're working with one microphone. It's a DSLR mic, and it's, I mean, not necessarily 100% omnidirectional, but it works okay. We've been testing like different parts of the house to record in that make more sense. And really, this mic is not meant for multiple people. It's maybe meant for 2 max, right? And sometimes we have, most of the time we have 3, if not 4, if not 5 people on the podcast. It's been a while since we had 5. But yeah, you know, that I hope to improve over time with some new equipment. And yeah, and a format, right? Because we've been kind of going back and forth with a format that has been the only inconsistent part of it, of this whole thing. So hopefully in the future that will change. But I'm working on it. And so in the meantime, thanks for sticking around. And as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts, Benny Garza and Alex Capello. And this weekend, we ended up talking a bit kind of about the games that have come out so far in 2016. We're already in July. As of today that I'm recording this bit, this is technically in the future of the recording. Today is the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day, by the way, for any of the U.S. listeners. But yeah, it's we're technically at the halfway point of the year, and I kind of wanted myself and the guys to kind of look back at the games that definitely left a lasting impression, whether it be good or bad, and I think we all had a bit to say about that. And we kind of ended with a bit of movie talk, actually. Don't worry, it's still gaming related. We talked a bit about the Warcraft movie, because I saw it recently, and boy, do I have opinions on it, and probably opinions that some people that know me well will not expect. So stick around for that. And as always, in the meantime, we're going to leave you with a song. So enjoy. It's like,
What's that smell?
And when it comes
And
back,
it looks like a Charizard, and then it comes back, and it's like, it's blood! And it's just a blood stain.
That's cool. That's cool.
And then, yeah, it's hilarious. Just Gascoigne losing his mind over blood. It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that's played great.
Yeah.
So by the way, have you also seen the cereal one?
I don't
The
think
Bloodborne?
he has.
I don't think...
No.
We should show you that one.
You guys
also.
need to show
It's
me.
Pretty funny.
You guys need to show me all of the things. It's Sunday.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is.
Sunday.
Yeah, recording a day later. My fault.
Oh, it's still not your fault. If we would have recorded early yesterday, I would have been fucking sleepy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Were you guys knocked out like fucking late on
Yeah.
Friday morning? Friday.
Almost
Like close
4
to
or 5.
5. Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah, you guys would have been dead as fuck. I'm surprised you even like messaged me. Like, what was it? Oh, you messaged me late though. It was like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think it was.
Because usually, like on Saturdays, you message me like at 9:30, 10. It's like, hey, we're gonna get together soon.
We woke up at 9.
Yeah.
And I checked my phone and I didn't have a message from you. And I told Alex, "Did you get a message from Todd?" And we were like, "No." You want to put a alarm for like an hour from now? Just passed out.
And I completely slept through... Well, I actually didn't sleep through it. We woke up on the second alarm, but I was like, fuck this. I set an alarm for like 12. And then we fell back asleep, and I think like 12 came around, and I just turned off the fucking alarm.
You're like, forget it.
Like,
I'm defeated today.
I think we woke up like at 12:31 or something.
It was like... It was close to 1, I think,
I was
when
like,
we finally were like...
I have to get up.
Yeah, I have some of those days where it's like I need to sleep, but it's like I feel so guilty for not being awake. But also the heat.
It's not like we were like drunk sleep.
Oh yeah, you were just asleep.
We were just up all night talking
yeah.
about bullshit,
Yeah.
and then we just passed out. Oh,
yeah,
man.
actually, not this weekend, but this past week, I've had really bad insomnia.
Yeah.
Really bad, where I'm almost sleeping near 3 or 4 in the morning, and then waking up. Even then, I'll wake up still like at 8, and it's like, oh, man.
For a good while, I'd wake up like at between 2 to 4 in the morning. I'd wake up and I couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
For a good while.
Yeah. That's what's been going on with me lately.
Cuties.
Cuties. All right.
Capello considers himself the master night owl.
I suffer really badly from insomnia. Like it's not even like every once in a while. This is like 3 weeks out of the month where I will not be able to fall asleep till 8 in the morning, and then go to bed and try and sleep the 8 hours. Wake up every hour on the hour, and until like I finally like just fuck this. I'm gonna stay awake.
Yeah.
It's
like you're half dead, really. Yeah, sometimes I'll post something like at 3 in the morning, and you'll respond like, what was it that I posted one day about my insomnia that I was like so fucking tired of it, and you're like, just embrace it.
Yeah, sleep is for the weak.
Yeah, I'll sleep when I'm dead, but sometimes sleep sounds pretty good. And being dead sounds pretty good sometimes.
Sleep sounds the best all the time.
Especially right now when it's super fucking hot.
Yeah.
It's like I wish during the summer I could change my sleep schedule where it's like I sleep all day and I'm awake all night, but that just doesn't work.
I mean, you can.
You can
physically beat it into your brain.
Sure, yeah. Yeah,
and that's pretty much my life right there.
Yeah, sure.
I am a vampire.
But
just be careful, he might try to bite you every now and then.
Sure. Garlic.
What's that smell?
What's that smell?
What's that smell? It's blood.
I had to learn how I'm breathing to protect myself.
Against the vampires.
I guess specifically you. There's no other vampire. What other vampire is there, Capello?
I am the only vampire in the world?
Yeah.
Well, alright.
Through spite vampirism, you became a vampire.
This is old lore. Like, our listeners won't even know what this is.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Knows.
Well, guys,
shout out to Marcos.
It is Sunday, and we're here, and we're recording. We are. So, what have you guys been up to? Like, what have you guys been playing this week? Let us know, because we're back to this format, kinda.
Until we decide to change it.
Until we decide to change it, which admittedly needs to happen very soon.
An ever-evolving podcast is still not a bad idea.
I like that too. We just need to, even then, we need to figure out what kind of formats we're going to have that are going to like go back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
But it is a good idea. I do like that. Benny, what have you been playing this week? Have you played anything new?
For literally this week, for the past 4 days, I've been binging a game that does not exist in America.
Okay.
A game being my crack addiction turned into a video game.
All right.
Gundam Breaker 3.
Gundam Breaker 3. Not 1, not 2,
but
3.
The game released around 2-3 months ago. It's pretty damn fun. It's not for everyone.
Sure.
The best way I could Capello said it when he was looking at it is that it's armored core detail, but on Gundams. Like you build your Gundam, you choose what core type you want, you choose. The details are so there.
So it's like a race car customization, but for Gundams.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, that's kind of impressive.
It gets detailed, man. And
not only that, but the modeling actually looks plastic.
Yeah.
No
you
shit.
could change the modeling and everything.
That Gundam that he showed you wasn't plastic. It was from the game.
It was from the game.
Okay.
I started it for a good while. I was like, that looks like. It looks like.
I thought that was legit. Like something like a picture of one. Like.
And if you started it, there was a gray stick coming up. That was a stand to hold up the Gundam.
Okay.
It's in the game.
That's cool.
Like. The game takes itself as seriously as it can in that it knows that you're there to build Gunpla.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking awesome. Like in the background, you see specific paints that are used for Gundams. And you see the foam styrofoam with a bunch of sticks popping out.
Okay.
That's what people usually do. They put the parts on the sticks and they spray paint them. That's how you paint. And you can work on the painting, every single detail, everything. Just water slide, decals. Shit.
So is it a brawler kind of game?
Yes.
I would imagine it would be.
It's a beat 'em up.
Okay,
it's like a beat 'em up brawler. The thing is,
shmup.
The parts that you put into your Gundam will change how your Gundam works.
Okay.
And like, it's weird to explain, but like from the Unicorn series, you can get Banshee Norn, the core, and from that you get the NTD system, which is what lets you change into destroy mode, which is what lets the core open up and it has like neon lights on the inside.
Okay.
And it's like a hyper mode, pretty much. So you could do that. But if you have a GM particle dispersal system as a backpack, you now get the Transam system. So you can have NTD and the Transam system.
You lost me halfway.
Look, it gets fucking deep.
No, but that's cool though.
Bullshit that there is.
No, I like that. As somebody who I mean, I like any kind of hardcore customization in games, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Essentially, it's like you have pieces from different heroes that you can get, and that gives you abilities.
Okay.
And hooray! Now, if you use that ability long enough, you master it, allowing you to not have that piece anymore, but you can still use that skill. So you can get rid of the chest piece
after you're
and
done
look for
with
another chest piece that you want, and you can still go into destroy mode if you want.
So like those skills stack on.
You get to keep them, but you can only have a certain amount when you go out.
Okay, I understand.
So you can't just have everything.
Everything. Maybe 2 OP.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there online mode for the game?
Yes, there is.
Can you play
it's
that
a
though here?
4-player online. What's up?
Can you play that here though?
I haven't tried.
Okay.
It's always connected online, or it's always connecting at different times. Like whenever you go and stare at the stuff that you can buy, it shows you like it connects to the internet and it checks your
account.
No, things that you have to like. I'm okay with this and whatnot.
Oh, okay, I understand.
You stare at stuff, and I mean, the game is definitely not for everyone.
Sure.
Then again, like
it's a very specific audience.
Games,
yeah.
But like, if it's for you, it's very much for you.
It's very much for you. I like that.
I was showing Capello. I haven't finished the game yet.
Okay.
I'm still playing through it. I haven't unlocked all the Gundams yet.
No.
There's still a large amount of Gundams that I'm missing. I was showing Capello through all the HGs, all the high grades. I'm past like I'm at least 75% with all of them. I have 75%.
Okay.
Like acknowledge that they're there. The rest, they're all question marks and unknown. And then there's the Master Grade series, and all of that is blank. I haven't seen a single Master Grade, or I haven't unlocked a single Master Grade.
So there's a lot of Gundams to unlock.
There's
a lot of them that
stuff.
exist in like real life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's cool. Like, how much was it?
It was like $53.
Okay.
It's PS4 game price, pretty much.
Cool.
It's super fun. The detailing is amazing. I like it.
Yeah. That's cool. That's good. Awesome. I kind of want to see it in play now. I'm kind of curious because
it's crazy in the amount of customizability it has.
Yeah.
I love the quote. If they ever import it to America, your quote should be on the back. This game's not for everyone, but if it's for you, it's for you.
It's definitely for you.
It's definitely for
like,
you.
Oh my god.
Benny Garza.
Like, no,
2016.
2016.
The amount of stuff, like, I have to go back real quick.
That's fine. Go.
You can mess with the coloring of your Gundam in every single way possible. Not just that, you can start to matte it or make it as shiny as possible.
Uh-huh.
You can chrome out all your colors so they're shiny, stupid shiny. You can chip your paint to make it look battle torn. And
Really?
everything.
Okay.
You can fuck up your Gundam by putting giant scars on it.
It's
and
all worn
everything.
out.
Yeah.
That's
like,
cool.
It's crazy in the amount of stuff.
Deep customization.
Put on it, yeah.
So would you say that so far you've spent more time in the customization than actually playing the game?
I spent 2 hours customizing a single Gundam.
That sounds about right.
Like, only paint-wise.
Yeah.
That was aside from me picking out the pieces for it.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I spent all day making... The one that I was using all of yesterday,
Yeah.
I made that day. But it took me like two hours,
Yeah.
3 hours maybe, just making every single piece just as I wanted.
Yeah.
And then they have a bunch of systems where like you can melt other pieces and put them into your piece,
Uh-huh.
and that's how you can make your piece stronger. It levels up as if, but like their abilities that the pieces that you just threw away for, you could inherit them pretty much. So that's how you get like cool abilities like Gatling gun DPS damage gets increased. So
Okay.
if you're using a Gatling gun, you do more damage just for having it. And then durability, it's just it's shit. It's a bunch of shit.
That's like Forza level deep of customization, because Forza's pretty fucking deep too. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, well, I'm glad that exists for people that want that.
Super crazy.
I kind of do want to see it in action now, for sure. Next time I go to your house, I'll check it out.
It's there.
That's
I'm
cool.
still playing it.
I know, and you'll probably still be playing it next time I go over.
Probably.
I'm gonna be hooked onto it, and I'm
Until-
gonna be playing it until the 15th.
Yeah.
So, I hope and I imagine I should be able to get a good amount of stuff
Unlocked
by the 15th.
before then.
Yeah.
It's like a bucket list before you die. You're trying to get all this stuff done before you play Monster Hunter.
I should say like it does have a story. It's a whole
It's whatever.
Gundam Builders story.
Oh, really?
But,
Okay.
Like if I get done with it, I could lend it to you, and I mean,
Oh, that's right. It's on disc, right?
fucking
Yeah, on
lose
disc.
your brain
Cool.
trying to do shit.
Well, I definitely want to see it in action. It sounds interesting,
Pretty
even from somebody that doesn't know shit about Gundams. Except for that video that was pretty legit. We saw the other week at Mikey's. Remember, with a cool song in it that I asked you about. Remember?
Okay.
Yeah,
Where they
with
show
the guy in
every single
Japan.
gunpla.
Yeah. That's some cool stuff.
Gundam Museum.
Yeah, that's super cool.
That would have been Benny's home had they not released this game.
They just gone and moved in there.
That's cool.
But enough about me. What about you guys? What have you guys been doing?
Capella, you go ahead.
All right.
So,
Well-
real quick, I should probably take note and send this to your therapist because you're playing a lot of WoW still, I assume.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Still playing a lot of WoW.
The recovering gunpla addict and the WoW addict.
Actually, we're all addicted to something right now, but continue.
Yeah,
Very
just
much so.
I'm basically doing stuff in preparation for Legion.
Yep.
And
It's about a month and a half away now.
Yeah,
Something Yeah, August, mid-August.
Well, it's at the end of August.
Oh, okay,
technically
so about 2
still
months.
2 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is that there's going to be a pre-patch this month, which changes some logistics with a certain part of the game, and a lot of people are trying to take advantage of it while it's still there because they're going to basically make it weaker.
Okay.
What I'm talking about is the garrison system, where you have like basically your own little town, and you send people off on missions, and through the garrison you can actually get a lot of gold. And Blizzard has decided, well, we don't want people just going back to the old system. We want them to use the new system that we're going to make. So they're nerfing all of the gold gain and experience gain from the garrison system.
The garrison stuff.
And you can get a lot of gold with the garrison system. So a lot of people are just trying to
farm before the patch comes out. When does the patch roll out?
I think it's mid this month, if not towards the end of this month.
2-3 weeks to do so. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but
you excited about Legion?
Oh yeah, it's actually. Of course, I haven't looked into any of the story stuff, but our friend Chewy, he was looking at a lot of the lore implications and a lot of the basically like the general story for Legion so far, and he says that it's going to be excellent. Like as far as story goes, it's going to be a very story-heavy expansion, which I am
return to form for
okay
Blizzard
with
their expansions.
Yeah, pretty much. I wouldn't say that the vanilla or even Burning Crusade was very much story, but I wouldn't say vanilla, which is the original, was incredibly story driven. But after that, like Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King were all very, very story heavy. They sort of fell off of form after that, even up until Warlords, which is the latest one. So, like I said, like I'm like I've said before, I'm a lore buff, and I'm very happy to hear that they're going to really dedicate a good chunk of the expansion into storytelling. And on top of that, there's like a lot of cool class changes. So there's I'm very much looking forward to Legion.
Cool, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So you still playing with Mikey and Chewy regularly?
Yeah. This, in fact, today when I go home, I'm probably gonna
play more.
Come on so that we can do some old dungeons together.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Other than that, well, the thing that got me off of World of Warcraft for the day.
Really?
Yeah.
They got you off of it?
Yeah.
Tell me.
It was a Street Fighter V story mode finally came out, and so I had to basically download an 8 gig patch, right?
Yeah.
So my internet isn't the best.
Yeah.
It
took a little while.
Took a little while.
Okay.
And so not being able to actually play through the story for a while, I decided to watch Max play through the story, which I don't regret. Because it is a very fun thing to watch, but I playing through it. I feel would have been a better experience for me personally.
But you just needed to know. You just wanted to know what it was like.
Like I figured I'm gonna play it
anyways. Yeah.
I'm gonna experience the story, and it's gonna take me a while. So I just watched Max play through it, and it's a really good story.
I've heard.
It's actually it's the best it's better than what you would have thought that Capcom would have put into the Street Fighter story. And it's not complete. The game still isn't complete yet.
Content complete, but it's on its way.
Yeah, but now it's definitely worth the price that they originally asked for.
That's good. I'm glad that, as somebody looking at it from the outside, I'm glad that the content came out before, we're already half of the year in, right? I'm glad it came out before August, because I know a lot of people were, because it's been delayed a couple times technically, right? Or some of even the characters have been delayed a couple times too.
One character was delayed for a month, but they wanted to put her in with a patch with the story.
With the story mode. Okay.
Yeah, so this month we got 2 characters instead of just one.
Yeah, so the second one came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, the second one was actually scheduled to come out the month after the story.
Oh, okay.
So
they said sorry.
They said basically it's as an apology, here's 2 characters.
That's cool.
And the story. So it's becoming much more of a complete package, and which is really good. It's still missing one very important thing, which is the arcade mode. That still isn't in the game yet.
Okay. Yeah.
But I imagine it's on the way.
So I would imagine also that I know they said they want to use this as a platform and they don't want to necessarily release like updated versions of the game, but I would imagine that they'll probably release like a content complete version of the game in the future, like on disc, so people don't have to download the patches.
Maybe I don't. I think since I think they've fully embraced the digital thing. So what it likely would be is like you get it on disc, and then the after patch will just be everything.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah. So Street Fighter V
on its way to being
complete. Yeah, a complete package, and it's still really good.
And Evo's happening soon.
Yeah,
speaking of
2 weeks.
fighting,
I think either next week or the week after.
It usually happens after Summer Games Done Quick, which I think is going on now.
Is it?
No, it's going on. I think. Soon,
yeah,
which I look forward to watching.
Yeah,
some of that.
I love watching SGDQ.
Actually, I think there was kind of like a precursor to it going on online somewhere, and someone played Doom in 60 minutes, and someone finished Fallout 4 in an hour and a half.
Wow,
it's fucking ridiculous.
That's good stuff.
That's some good shit. I don't know if I want to watch that, but yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that Capcom is kind of giving back to the community.
I imagine there were no rat roaches pop shotted in that run.
Probably not.
Straight to the boss.
Yeah, probably not.
Which actually, I look forward to the day where Breath of the Wild will be an SGDQ.
That will be fascinating to watch.
Yeah,
that'll be incredible to watch. I'm sure. Cool.
Yeah, so I haven't actually played Street Fighter V. I did stop playing WoW to watch Max
while you were downloading.
While I was downloading,
yeah, gotcha.
And even then, like I basically like when I went to sleep, I was like, okay, well, when I wake up, it'll finish downloading, right?
Sure.
I learned that the 8 gig patch was just a patch for the rest of the game, you still had to download the story separately.
And how much was that?
8 gigs.
Damn,
it was another
16 total.
Like I started downloading it on Friday. Like after I realized that I still have to download the damn story separately.
No, that sucks.
And then Benny picked me up, so I was like,
"Fuck it."
Well, I guess I'll play it when I come home.
Sure, yeah.
So,
well, it's probably done by now.
Oh, it definitely
okay,
is.
Good.
It only takes 4 hours for me to download 8 gigs. So.
Okay, that's good. You'll have some things to look forward to when you get home.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. And what about you, Todd? What have you been playing this week?
Well,
I have an idea already, but for the sake of the audience.
All right. Well, I've actually been going back and forth between a couple things. Last week, Benny was gracious enough to lend me his copy of Watch Dogs, and I played that for about an hour and a half.
Oh no! You're supposed to go deeper.
Maybe I'll go back to it, but I just, man,
you didn't feel hacky enough. You didn't hack the stuff. More stuff.
That game is such a fucking trash pile. it's like the character. It's like this character's so bad. Like, I don't like Kratos, but this guy's fucking worse. I'd rather play Angry Kratos for 10 more games than play this fucking nitwit. Like, he's the most uninteresting character I've ever seen in my entire life.
But his niece, though.
But that stuff is so shoot in. And you know what? Even when you so it starts with you, like what in a stadium, right? So you get out and it's like. I imagined that it was going to be, hey, maybe Chicago will be a cool-looking city, and it's like, nope. It looks so mediocre, and it's really disappointing. I knew what I was getting myself into, excuse me, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad.
So since you know what you were getting yourself into, you have to at least go like another 2 more hours.
I'll try to play a little more because some of his supporting characters are like really interesting, like the guy who cleans up after him. I think he's like Japanese or Chinese or something. I forgot his name, Ron or something. He's the guy. Did you play any of the game? Do you remember?
I bought that game.
Yeah, I know.
I passed it.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah, I put money into it.
You put money
into it. I'm not gonna let it fucking
yeah, that's true.
Side.
So his character is interesting, and some of the characters are kind of interesting, but the game, even though I at some point I went to like the whole Ubisoft Tower thing, right, where you have to take it down so you can be able to hack in a certain area of the city. So I went and did that, and I finished half of that area just using the phone, which I thought, this is kind of interesting, but then the game, in a lot of ways, still forces you to pull out a weapon. And I get that. It's technically a third-person shooter, but so much lost potential. So much. And this is probably the mistake I made. I probably should have played that first before watching Mr. Robot. Because Mr. Robot I know it's a totally different medium, but it knocks everything that's bullshit out of the park. Anyways, I'll maybe go back to it just like if I'm listening to a podcast or something and I don't feel like playing anything else. Slap it on and just mindlessly go through shit Chicago. Chicago's not a bad city, I mean the Ubisoft's shit Chicago. But guys, I told myself I was going to get away from Fallout.
That's why you didn't?
And I didn't.
Yay!
I didn't. And I think, what was it, last week we talked about that I had bought the Contraptions DLC, right? Yeah. So I've been messing around with that, that's cool. But I reached a point, I really reached a point where I'm like, man, there is nothing left for me. I've scoured every part of this forsaken Boston. And then I think Mikey came over on Thursday and he showed me a couple things that I had never seen before. I'm like, okay, cool, there's a fucking pyramid that I never saw in this whole fucking game. Spoilers, not really. But I picked up some interesting stuff there. But at that point, I've literally run out of quests. Like, it's all just Radiant quests from the Minutemen and stuff like that.
Did you run into the spaceship that crashes?
Yes, yeah, I got the... And I used up all the ammo, so I switched it out. Yeah, but because the thing is, like, the alien ammo is one specific one, and you can't get any more of it. But when you go to your weapons workshop, you can switch it out as a gamma ray, and the gamma ammo is stuff that you can find regularly in the game. But I think it lowers the damage like 3 or 4 points, which is not a big deal. It still does a fuck ton of damage. But I've reached that point, and I'm like, it's still. I guess it's still like, I don't know. I love the game, clearly.
But there's nothing more there.
There's nothing more there, and I guess I should really be grateful that I've gotten so much out of it. I've already said this a million times before. But it's interesting because I felt like, in looking at it from previous Bethesda games, that Skyrim had way more quests. Skyrim had like 1 or 2 Radiant quest lines, which it's kind of like in there that you don't really pay attention to. But in this game, it's very clear that Preston Garvey is going to send you fucking everywhere, right?
Right.
Which, fuck that guy. But I feel let down overall looking at it now that I wish it had more quests. But that's what DLC is for, right? I haven't played the new DLC yet, so when I'm able to get it, I will play it. But I will say that I started a 4th playthrough.
Oh boy!
So it's.
Did you do the melee only build?
No, I'm not doing that. I don't know what I'm going to do yet necessarily, but it's technically my 3rd because it's technically my 4th, but I'm calling it my 3rd because my 3rd is technically the survival run. I'm calling that my Dark Souls run because it's not fucking easy.
The melee?
No, fuck no. Are you kidding? No. So that one I'm taking literally 1 quest at a time because it's fucking difficult and it drains me whenever I play it. So I decided with my 3rd playthrough or whatever to side with the Brotherhood because they're the only ones I haven't sided with yet. Okay. And so what I did is that I sidelined it. I totally I just did the beginning quest in Concord with Preston, and I haven't even gone to Diamond City. I just went straight to the police station where Paladin Dan's is because I never actually completed his quest line either because I fucking hated him. I don't like his character. Spoilers, someone told me, which is not a big deal, but someone told me he's actually a synth.
Really?
Which is that's hilarious because he's basically out to kill synths. Yeah. So that's interesting, so I can't wait to get to that point. But I started a 4th playthrough. And I don't know what it is now. Is it really that I'm addicted to it? I don't fucking know. I need something else. And I told myself, hey, I need to go back and finish my 2nd playthrough of Uncharted. I started playing it for an hour, and then I went back to Fallout.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Oh my god, I need this to go away.
There's something about a game that's so open that you can do whatever you want.
That's the thing about it.
If you have the will or imagination, you could do a whole bunch of stuff.
Different builds, all kinds of stuff you can go into, yeah.
There's a lot of playtime you can throw into it.
It is. But what I did do, also, real quick, to cap it off, I did restart Skyrim on my PC. I hadn't played it in months, maybe even a year. I had dabbled in it when I got the Astros just to test it out, but I didn't actually get into it. So I restarted, and I played it for like maybe 3 or 4 hours, and I'm like, yeah, I need to get back into this for sure. But then I ended up going back to Fallout. But
that sounds about right.
Yeah, but like I will go back to Elder Scrolls this week because I forgot how much I love that game. But yeah, that's it.
All right.
That's it. So we're all addicted to something.
Yeah, basically.
So
it's too bad that the mods aren't going to be coming out.
oh no! I was
I
was
put
so
that up and I was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and so I've already talked to a couple people. It's like, well, you should get like I know I have a PC. I'll get it on PC eventually, but I already have it. I've already put so much time into this version. You know, for now, I'll stick with this until later in the year when I upgrade my PC. Then I'll buy Fallout, and then I will put another fucking 500 hours into it. But in the meantime, it sucks that those mods aren't coming out yet. Like, it's kind of indefinitely on pause, and that sucks so bad because I was hoping that this time around Bethesda would have a better track record with PlayStation, because when Skyrim came out on the PS3, like, the DLC took forever to come out because it had so many problems, and now they're doing this with mods, which people really want, right? So it's a little disappointing. I'm not going to pretend to know what it's like to deal with that stuff, but I mean, they've had time.
It sucks.
They've had time to do this. They put it on an Xbox. They have time to understand like how mods can work on a console. So you would kind of think that they'd be able to figure it out by now. But as much as I love Bethesda, it's not a love-hate, but it's like a love and disappointed kind of relationship. After all these years, it's like, man, you guys still don't fucking get it.
He shit the bed, and they're like, really?
Yeah, basically. It's like, Todd Howard, come on, bro. Come on, broski.
I don't hate you, but clean it up.
Yeah. And that's fine, like, because I still haven't played, like, the big DLCs. So, Nuka... Oh, next week is, No, I haven't played that one yet either, but, next week is the Vault, so we can create the Vaults. Oh, so, right, yeah. Boom, that's another 30, 40 hours for me, because I'm so ready into it.
Are you going to jump for creating Vaults, or are you going to jump for the Valhalla?
Oh well, I'm doing like the workshop stuff first, and then I'll get into later when I get a chance to download the rest of the stuff, because there's Far Harbor, and then actually sometime around my birthday is when Nuka World comes out, which is the next the last one according to them, right?
I think I'll wait for that to come out, and then I'll probably revisit it.
Yeah.
As a new character though.
And then he'll take pot shots at rad roaches all day.
Dude, I fucking love that, man.
It's fun.
I went straight into like single shot rifles and handguns. Yeah. That's what I was putting my points into, and I just fucking activate bats, and then target the face of the rad roach and just say, "No, motherfucker."
This playthrough,
the edgiest.
You're the edgiest in the Commonwealth. This playthrough, I'm going a little more like pissed off character. I'm playing one that's like, I want to kill I like that's why I'm siding with the Brotherhood, because the Brotherhood just wants to murder everything. So, yeah, Brotherhood.
Technology gathering.
Yep, Brotherhood's going down. No, the Institute's going down. The Railroad's going down. And the thing is, I love the Railroad though. It's gonna be so shitty when I have to go into that church and kill everyone. But
you should play a sad song while you're leaving.
Right, I totally do that. Yeah. This is a violin. Oh my god, that's good for a video.
Smilest violin.
All right, but I think we're good for now when it comes to all that. We'll see if that changes next week if I'm still playing Fallout. God damn it.
No, I don't doubt it. You're going to get that itch.
I will at least have had played Street Fighter by then.
Sure.
So. I'll probably still be playing Gundam Fighters. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move on to our first order of the day. So it's July, right?
Yeah.
It's like the 2nd right now. No, it's the 3rd.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is the 4th of July.
Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday, America, technically, yes.
America.
I wanted to kind of go through, discuss some of the biggest games of the year, or our favorite games of the year, because we're halfway done. So I think it's an appropriate time to look at our, quote-unquote Game of the Year watch, right? Look at the games that definitely made an impact and will probably, be up for some, big awards from, big media outlets and stuff at the end of the year. I don't know if we should just go down the list, or we just go around the room.
I think we should go down the list.
All right. Well, there's a lot.
Yeah.
We don't have to go for every single one. We just go
just
for
the main ones.
Yeah, find the most notable ones.
Are notable.
Yeah, there's a couple of. I mean, in the beginning of the year, there wasn't a lot. I think the one that stood up for me was The Witness to start with. So I haven't actually played it yet. I do want to get it, but that's Jonathan Blow's new game after, which is technically like nearly a decade after Braid came out on the 360, which is crazy. But yeah, a lot of people love that game. That game is really good, critically acclaimed. It sold really well for him, despite a lot of people pirating the game. Mm-hmm. Do you think, like, when it comes to like the big outlets, do you think like a puzzle game can win Game of the Year nowadays? Do you think that's a thing?
It really. It's not likely.
It may be like a heavily story-driven game that happens to have puzzles.
Sure.
I mean, if like I don't know if Myst ever got Game of the Year, but that was a world-reclaimed, just, you know, a great big title puzzle game, right?
Yep.
And we haven't had anything puzzle game-esque like that.
Portal.
Well, besides Portal.
Portal 2 won big time.
And that does count as a puzzle game, sort of, like I suppose so. Yeah, but okay, so then Portal would be like the last entry that we've gotten for something like that. So it's been a while, and which basically says that like a puzzle game like really needs to have like a heavy sort of substance to it in order to be recognized as a Game of the Year sort of game.
Yeah.
And Portal really had substance.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was like in the AAA market, because a lot of puzzle games these days only exist in like the AA and indie stuff, you know. But yeah, The Witness is a beautiful looking game too, and I love how everyone was so into it. Like, of all the podcasts and the people I follow, like in gaming, like everyone was so into it that month, and people were going crazy, and like people were having spreadsheets and like all this like paintings on the wall of like, how do I get past this puzzle? And I used to like that kind of stuff, right? With like Portal, well, not necessarily Portal, but like stuff like Myst and stuff like that. But yeah, that was one of the big releases, at least on PlayStation, for the beginning of the year. But we'll see. I think that his like Braid was such a big game, and it's still considered one of the best indie games ever made, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's cool, and I hope I get to play it soon. I love like falling into a puzzle game that's like really difficult. It makes me think a lot. But yeah, that was one of the big ones. Firewatch,
that's a big game this year.
That's a big indie game.
Yeah.
These are the guys. Well, these are some of the guys that walked away, or that some of them worked on Gone Home, and a lot of them came from like big, like prominent developers like Telltale and Irrational, the guys who made BioShock. So you got some heavy hitters there that, you know, started their own studio, which is called Campo Santo. So I bought the game. I was really hyped for it, and it's definitely interesting. It's got a really cool art style and stuff like that. But some of the narrative is inconsistent, right? And it came out kind of. People were a little divisive about it. Some people didn't like it. Some people really liked it. I'm somewhere in between. Like, I think it's really cool, but the narrative, I think, is... How do I say this without sounding mean? It's... Okay, I'm just going to be honest. It's a little pretentious.
Really?
It's just a little pretentious. It's trying to be this thing that it's not. I don't want to spoil it, because all the game is narrative. Mm-hmm. But I'll have to say that, it, you know... It's not necessarily a follow-up to Gone Home, but it's I would say Gone Home is just a way stronger entry in the first-person experience kind of game. But I think it'll definitely be in a lot of people's lists at the end of the year. I don't know if it'll be on mine, to be honest, but I was super hyped for it, though. You guys haven't played that one, right? No.
No. Firewatch.
Yeah. XCOM 2 came out sometime in February. Yeah. A lot of people were also really divisive, because the PC version, well, the only version is kind of... It's still really wonky, and it's kind of incredible that they're... I hope they fix it before the console version comes out in September, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I haven't played it yet, so I can't say much. But I hope that when I get a chance to play it, it'll be in my top 10. I really hope so, because I love XCOM. You guys know. It was my addiction before Fallout was. But yeah, that's a big one for a lot of people. What else came out this year? Fire Emblem Fates. I haven't played it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah,
I've heard some pretty good stuff about Fire Emblem Fates.
Yeah, that's a big game. There's like three. Oh, there's like three, right? There's technically three like stories in that game, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember what they were called. Did anyone play? You played Far Cry Primal.
Yeah.
You did. Did you like it? I don't even remember.
It scratched the Far Cry itch in that like I hunted every animal into extinction,
Okay.
running around with a knife and whatnot.
Okay.
It's fun. Like in that game, I have a very specific method in which I play, and like for most of the camps, I like to have my nice silenced freaking sniper rifle.
Mm-hmm.
I find a nice hill, binocular everyone, go ahead and tag everyone, look for the animal, maybe get the animal out, and then pick at.
Yeah.
I rad roach pick everyone out of the fucking thing.
It's your term now.
I walk in, pick up the flag.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then I'll go stealthy and I'll go for a silenced handgun, and like I'll get in really close and maybe with a bow and a couple of shanks to the back of the neck for a couple of people, but like yeah, it's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
It's more Far Cry.
It's more Far Cry. I think for a lot of people, more Far Cry is okay, but I think that even after this one, it's like, okay, it's time to maybe go back to the drawing board and deliver whatever the next Far Cry is, something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I mean, I still liked I haven't played Primal, but I did like Far Cry 4. I thought it was
fun.
a decent game. At the same time, though, in 2014, like, 2014 was kind of a slow year for gaming. Like, there wasn't a whole ton. Like, at the end, a lot of people had Dragon Age Inquisition as their game of the year, but it's like, well, it's a good game. It's just that there wasn't really a lot to pick from.
Yeah.
Like, from the big game, like the big AAA stuff. For me, that year was probably Shadow of Mordor. I think Shadow of Mordor was an excellent game.
Yeah.
A really good game. But yeah, that's cool. A game I totally forgot about is Tom Clancy's The Division, which technically none of us have actually. I played some of it. I played extensively. Mikey would probably be here for that, but he'd talk about it for about 3 hours. I think that
There was a big patch coming out soon.
Yeah. There's like I think incursions were coming into the game. Do you think that the hype has like died down a lot for that game?
Yeah,
It totally has.
Very much so.
And I was really thinking that this would be the one to like, yeah, this is going to be the one that people actually stick to, like compared to Destiny, right? Like that big, raid style
I
kind
don't
of
know
game.
the numbers, but I think Destiny's still going steady.
Which is surprising, considering how much people hate on it, that are like players of it that hate on the game. But yeah, I think that the Division will probably be. I don't know. I don't think it'll be up for a lot. I feel like
the last mention that I had that I've heard of The Division was in WoW trade chat. Someone asked if it was a good game, and everybody was like, "No."
Yeah, TB didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, when it came out, he had this like 40-minute expose on it, and I'm like, man, you really didn't like this game. Then again, he seldom, he really doesn't like a lot of games that have come out. But I think that for me, the game overall was, I was trying to convince myself that it was something that I was really gonna get into eventually, but no, it's really unfortunate. Once again, showing me that despite liking a lot of like Ubisoft games, that a lot of them just don't hit the mark, and it's really sad, in my opinion, at least. Pokken Tournament.
I was actually a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah.
Specifically for like in a group of people, and we're just passing the controller. That game's fun.
Yeah.
They're not sure how the longevity of that game is still.
I wonder if it's gonna be an Evo.
I think they said that it was going to be an Evo.
I want to see some Evo grade fighting. That's gonna be interesting. All the juggles will be real.
But no Chandelure.
Chandelure's man.
No, Chandelure will be forgotten.
Yeah.
I wonder how that game is doing
and
right
Gardevoir.
now, because it's a good game, and then the the net play was just fantastic.
Yeah,
so.
surprisingly
superior.
Especially on the Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wii U, that's crazy to hear that there's a... Well, like Splatoon was like the first one, one of the first games recently on the Wii to say, hey, we can actually do online stuff, and it works. But that's good. I know a lot of people liked it. That's cool. And this is from the guys that made Tekken. That's technically it's technically a Tekken game.
It's Pokken.
It's
yeah.
Pokken. Yeah.
So glad that they didn't add like type values onto it, because I would have broken the game a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Next one on the list. There's a lot of games on this list. A lot of them I've never heard of, and a lot of them I've never played. But I know Dark Souls is a big one for you guys.
Oh yeah. Dark Souls is pretty fucking good.
This is probably its own conversation, but do you think, like, how would you rank this game against the other games, if that was something you had to do?
What?
Like compared to
it was better than 2, but I think 1 is still.
A lot of people will stick to 1,
Yeah.
like no matter what.
1 is still like the number 1, and then
like the story on number 1, like especially when you first find it, like it's really good.
Yeah, watch those videos and it's crazy
the
stuff.
thing is that I really shouldn't be rating it because I haven't experienced the game really, but past the first boss, and I haven't like looked into the lore because I've been wanting to actually
play the game, experience it yourself.
So like I keep hearing that 1 is still the granddaddy, but like before I can actually rate it, I should probably finish the game. So.
Sure, I understand that. I think it will probably be a big contender, especially being
for Game of the Year,
yeah,
definitely.
Especially with Miyazaki returning to Dark Souls, right? Because he was absent for the second game. Bloodborne was a console exclusive, so a lot of people didn't get to experience the game, unfortunately.
That game fucking hit it out of the park.
Yeah. Oh, I do. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you.
It only won 1 award for.
I think it was from recently, right?
Yeah.
We talked about it.
Was it BAFTA?
I think it was a BAFTA
Yeah.
for design or art design.
Yeah, art direction.
Deservedly. So I remember like during the Keeley Awards and like all the other ones, I'm like, if it's gonna win in a category, it has to win in this one because it absolutely deserves it. And I'm so glad they won a BAFTA because the BAFTAs are way more prestigious than
a lot
the Dorito Awards.
Yeah,
the Dorito Award.
The Dorito Award.
Yeah, which is the Keeley stuff. I'm not hating on Jeff
Sponsored by
Keeley.
Mountain Dew.
I'm just making fun of him. I don't hate him.
Doritos
I like
and
him.
Mountain Dew,
Yeah,
the
basically.
gamer fuel for every
It'd be funny if the trophies were made of
Doritos and
Doritos.
Mountain Dew.
Ugh, that'd be disgusting.
Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Outside the venue, it's like a Dorito fountain, and forget it.
It's just a glorified Dorito bowl, the actual award.
Yeah, that's funny. Ratchet and Clank, which I know it's technically a remake, but it's not a re-release of the original game.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of good things about this game. I've heard it's kind of a return of the mascot platformer that like current gen, even last gen, didn't really have.
Yeah.
But I know it's probably going to be. It's rated incredibly well. I think I want to play it. I really want to play this very soon because I haven't played a 3D platformer in forever. Like Rayman is not a 3D platformer, but Rayman's the last one I really got into, and I love that game. I love those 2 games. But it's cool, and I think if anything, this makes me hopeful for Crash, which we saw at E3, like it's back. You know, Sony kind of has the rights. We actually don't know if Sony bought the rights off of Crash from Activision or if they're collaborating to say, "Hey, we'll work on this together." I don't know about that.
I find it more likely that they're collaborating.
Yeah. But I don't know why Activision would even hold on to that. They're not doing anything with it.
True.
It's like either their studios are working on Skylanders, Call of Duty, or Blizzard. Right, like that's all they have. Which, to be fair, those are massive, right? They're massive games. But if anything, I'm really hopeful for that stuff. I think that Crash, while I'm not like necessarily attached to Crash Bandicoot. Like I was way more into Ratchet and way more into Sly Cooper. I think that I'm hopeful for those games and like the remasters as long as they're at this level, Ratchet and Clank, because Ratchet and Clank looks fucking awesome. Like it looks incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that'll definitely be on a lot of people's lists. I guess.
Specific note for the Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
It was 1, 2, Warped, and 3, right? They were getting the.
I think it's only 3 games though.
1, 2, and Warped.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's it. I could be wrong. But those are the only ones they had. It's only 3 games. I think 4 would be kind of pushing it.
I think that sounds about right. They were going to HD re-release.
Yeah.
Warped. I'll probably get Warped. I always played Warped.
I think they're releasing in a bundle.
I'll get them, man.
Yeah, you get all of them. Yeah.
Still gonna get them.
If they're at that level, like I said, of polish that the Ratchet and Clank game is, then I'm definitely down to play those again. Doom.
No, probably the
Shit.
strongest one
So far,
release so far.
On the list we have.
Pretty fucking good.
Holy shit, man! Oh, I can't even.
I don't know how strong the sales were. Like,
I think on PC it did fairly well.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was on the top charts for at least a month or two. But damn, that game has no right to be good, and it
still does it.
Yeah, it's incredible how we talked about this. I think a little bit last week or the week before, maybe. But it hits it right on the nose. Like, it's a nostalgia trip.
Story.
Yeah.
Shoot demons.
It has a cohesive story though. Like, it's a throwaway, but like it's not hard to follow. Yeah. It's like demons have
There's
invaded
a bad guy
Mars.
doing stuff. We can help you. You gotta go into hell though.
I think it's so cool though how in the beginning of the game it's quite clear that you're called the Doom guy, or something like that.
The Doombringer, I think it was, or something like that.
Something like that. But it's so funny that like it breaks the fourth wall. It's like, yeah, you're the Doom guy, and you're here.
The DAWs were all guys.
Yeah,
it was like red guy, Doom guy.
Yeah,
red guy.
And you're basically you were in hell. Like your body was in hell.
Slab of,
are we frozen technically? That's weird in hell.
No,
I don't remember.
Giant slab.
Yeah.
They do,
and they brought you back to life or whatever.
Weird science, and then you're back.
Weird science, including demonology in there, but
demon science.
I think it's a very strong contender, not just for Shooter of the Year, but for Game of the Year, because it reminds me how fun it is just to play a dumb shooter.
I found it difficult to get back into like its pace
because it's so fast.
Yeah,
it's stupid fast. Like after I played it, because you had lent it to me a couple weeks ago. Thank you, by the way. After I played it, and I went because I literally the whole time I was playing Doom, I wasn't playing anything else, and then so I went back to Fallout. And I'm like, oh, it's so weird. It's so slow.
Yeah,
it's so slow. It took me a little while. It literally took me like a day and a half to readjust to how slow the game was, and it's like now I can't even imagine playing like a lot of people say that like stuff like Call of Duty and like Titanfall and stuff like that are like really fast. It's like, nah, man, Doom is fucking on another. It's Call of Duty as if it took a line of cocaine or it had speed or something. It's fucking awesome. It's a bloody good time.
It's real fast.
It looks really good too, even on console. I've seen comparison videos. Like, yeah, man, like the console version really holds up next to the PC version. And then especially after E3, they talked about how they're gonna have it in VR. Fuck me, that's probably just a fucking roller coaster vomit.
Yeah, that's Vertigo City right there
for sure. But yeah, I think that's. So far, for me, that's one of the stronger games, at least from first-person shooters, right? Like, we haven't seen a lot of first-person shooters come out this year, at least really good ones. Later on the list, we do have Homefront, the Revolution or whatever,
which
not a good game.
Should probably not even be mentioned.
It shouldn't be mentioned. I'm mentioning it as a disappointment, but a lot of the big shooters coming out at the end of the year. We have Call of Duty, Titanfall, and Battlefield all coming out around the same timeline. So it'll be interesting if that game holds up to. I know Doom is a totally different thing, right? But like, how does it hold up in terms of what's going to be better than the other, right? And so I think that when it comes to Doom, it's not necessarily a complete package though, because the multiplayer is the polar opposite. The reaction is the polar opposite. People do not like the multiplayer. It's not made by id. It's not a Doom game. It's trying to be like the modern kind of game where it has a progression system and all this stuff, you unlockables, which, I mean, Doom is a Quake style like arena game.
Mhm.
You know, people don't want the new out of that game. But it'll be interesting to see how that, moving forward, like what's really going to stand out at the end of the year. Also, I know the game hasn't come out yet, but I'm really looking forward to Lawbreakers,
Right.
which is Cliffy B's new game. It looks fucking awesome. I hope that's an arena shooter I can get into, like multiplayer wise, because I think the last arena shooter I played was like what, Halo 2, because even Halo 3 started having like upgrades and stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that rolls out. There's no Halo coming out this year, huh? Like Halo Wars is coming out. No,
Halo Wars
Next year.
is next year. Yeah.
there's no like
First person.
yeah,
Halo?
there's none this year because Halo 5 came out last year.
Yeah.
Speaking of first-person shooters, there's Overwatch, which also really strong contender for Game of the Year,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And I've played very little of it, but the bits I've played, it's like, I'm fucking into this game. I love it.
Everybody loves Overwatch right now. You know, it's for good reason because it's a pretty good game.
When it hasn't done anything that would make you not like it.
Well, except for the new ranked stuff that people are just
Competitive play?
Yeah.
Really?
And
People aren't liking that?
Well, it's not that they're not liking it. Is that at its release and as it is right now, it's buggy.
Mhm.
The rank system doesn't work correctly. It basically like casual play. Excuse me. Casual play affects your ranking, which why would it?
That's strange. They're two totally different playlists.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
just. But apparently, casual has something to do with your score and ranking, and there's a few things, but like people right now are not happy with the release of the
Wow.
ranking stuff.
I didn't know that, and I thought that was a reason why Blizzard didn't release that at launch, because they were working
Because-
on it still.
Yeah, and they released it and they didn't do it right, and
that sucks.
Now people are kind of unhappy about it.
That is unfortunate. Like, you know, we've talked about this before. You know, you've said it yourself that Blizzard has its ups and downs when it comes to patching and stuff like that. But I hope they'll fix this stuff.
They will.
Yeah.
It's their current cash cow. Like
Yeah.
if it threatens that people will just drop off the game
They will
because
fix it.
they will fix it.
Yeah. And so I haven't been really paying attention, but I know there is like some pro stuff going on with it. We had that discussion. I think we talked about it last week, that there was a female player that
Accused of cheating.
Yeah, you said we talked
She
about
was
this.
so good.
And, but
Right.
yeah,
I remember, yeah.
and then the people who had accused her said, "Well, we'll quit if you're not cheating." And so one of them did quit, right?
Yeah, they
straight out.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
person just stuck to their word.
Good on him, right? But I think that they need to fix the rank stuff if they really see a potential in it as an esport. But this is the thing. What I like about what Blizzard's doing with Overwatch is that they're not like forcing it, because like you saw stuff like, I think it was like even Rainbow Six Siege and even Evolve, they were really saying, hey, our game's going to be an esport, and they were forcing it down people's throats for a while. And then look what happened. Like, I know people still play Rainbow Six on PC, right? But like those two games have definitely died off. There is no esports scene. Do you think, also looking at Blizzard's pedigree, do you think that there is a strong esports kind of scene developing because of Overwatch?
It's likely.
Okay.
Like, I don't think I've seen any like
Big stuff.
North American
North American.
teams.
Yeah.
I think there are Korean teams right now, but right now, as it currently is, there's no like ESPN contract or any big tournament that has been said.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just fun game Overwatch, but clearly they're trying to getting ready for like a competitive scene.
And I think, like, again, what I like about that is that they're not forcing it down people's throats. It's like they're kind of going through the paces of it, right? Like they barely release the competitive stuff.
That's likely one of the reasons why there aren't any like teams and stuff yet.
Yeah, because they're waiting for this stuff to work.
Yeah.
But I think overall the game has legs. Like, I think even for me, like, I've been saying that as soon as I get back online, like, that'll be the first game I buy, because I really, really want to play more of it. I, played a little bit of it in beta, and then I played it at Sam's recently. It's like, man, I
fell in love with it. Like, it's like you said, there's nothing to dislike about the game.
Yeah.
Like, really, really, just nothing to dislike about the game. And it's so easy to get into. It's the kind of thing where anyone can pick it up and play it. But if you want to master it, you have to dedicate some time to it, just like anything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that they got into the first-person shooter business, because, like I've said before, they walk into any genre and they will fucking nail it to the wall. You know, and that's awesome. I can't wait to see what they do next. But I've heard rumors, not necessarily related to what we're talking about, but I've heard rumors that they're kind of gonna work on Diablo again next.
Right. There's
they hired some new people.
They're hiring people for the production lead in Diablo's future content, which is
exciting. Yeah. I like Diablo.
I definitely hope they learn from their mistakes.
Sure,
and
I would absolutely believe
like no DRM bullshit and this auction house nonsense.
Just get that shit out of the way.
Get that out of the way. Just make a good game.
And I think they fixed that with the console release, which I think a lot of people. I think even people in the PC audience, you know, have come out and said that that the console release was a good thing for the game. That's I would assume that this next game, assuming that it's called Diablo 4, will come out to console day and date on the PC, because they know that people dig. Because Reaper of Souls was awesome, is awesome, so that's cool. See what happens with that. But
they did it with Overwatch, where it came out same day for everything. So they're really looking into console.
I mean, it's selling for them. It's working. It's making them a lot more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. But Overwatch, awesome. I think that when it comes to, like, again, looking at first-person shooters, Overwatch and Doom, as much as I like Doom, Overwatch definitely has a lot more legs because it has a multiplayer that people actually like, but they're totally different games. Mm-hmm. It's so hard to decide, and it'll be much harder for me personally when Titanfall comes out. You know, assuming that it's actually good. You know, but that's a big one. Star Fox Zero
didn't do as well as it
it's
could.
It's a fun game. It looks nice, and there are a couple little cool things. Did you know during missions, if you pass by right next to an enemy fighter, you'll freeze and you'll see into each other's cockpit. You do a stare down. That's cool. Amazing, and you can do that with Star Wolf. In a playthrough that I was watching, they did it with the chameleon. I forget the guy's name.
Leon.
They do a thing. I was like, "You still think you can get me?" And then they start chasing. Like, that's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Can't say too much for the controls though.
Sure.
The controls are very difficult. Apparently, once you get the hang of it, it's fun. It's there. Like, once you know, like anything, the hardest part is getting into it.
I understand that. When it comes to nostalgia factor, though, again, two totally different games, completely opposite ends of each other. But what are you looking at, like Doom and Star Fox? Overall, which one do you think gets the nostalgia factor right? You've technically played both of them now, right? So, which one do you think hits that note?
The thing is, I didn't play a whole lot of Doom when I was younger. I played a hell of a lot of
Star Fox
64.
Okay.
But you see, what's the earliest Doom that I played?
I mean, technically, there's 4 Dooms now. There's Doom 1, 2, 3 is kind of not really a Doom game. It's a concept. 2 was on PC.
I think I maybe played a little bit of 2.
Okay, did you play Doom 64? Because it also came on the 64. We talked about this last week.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The one in 64 was what, technically Doom 2?
Technically Doom 2, yeah.
I think that might have been the one that I'm remembering.
All right.
Doom 3, which was on the original Xbox.
Original Xbox on PC.
And the one that was like spooky and
it was trying to. That was a totally different game, though.
It did its own thing.
Yeah,
it wasn't
totally
necessarily horrible.
No, it wasn't
the best, but it was there.
Interesting idea.
I'm gonna have to give it to Star Fox just because, like, I'm into that Muppet Mouth.
Oh man, I really wish they had done that.
They do.
But
the
like,
one, they have the Muppet Mouth.
Oh, but like, I wish the whole game had this like Muppet aesthetic. Would have been interesting. You think it would have been too much?
Like in cutscenes and stuff, I think cutscenes they don't do it that much, but like in the windows,
the windows,
like
da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, they do the
that's fun.
And when you're done with the mission, if all your buddies are alive, they'll do animations at the bottom, but they're still in that camera, and it's very like
Yeah, okay.
Muppety, like, I like it.
That's cool. No, I understand. That's cool. Well, I mean, I haven't played the new Star Fox, but, I mean, both games, I think if anything, I'll get away from talking negatively about anything. I think it's cool that a lot of these games are returning from, like, the dead, right? Mm-hmm. You got Doom, you have Star Fox, Ratchet and Clank, right? These are all games that haven't actually existed prominently in gaming in a while.
They had faded for a bit.
Exactly, they had faded for a little while.
They're back.
We skipped a release.
Did we?
So this is gonna be real mean, but like it's completely forgotten now. Battleborn.
That heavy breathing says it all. Like
it's just completely like.
Specifically, it's because like its launch didn't go the best. It was it may as well have been a ghost launch.
That's like to its detriment. It went up against Overwatch.
Blizzard.
And now it is a ghost.
I haven't even heard of that game since.
You know what we should do? We should probably try to get Battleborn. It's probably cheap right now. We can adventure in it.
I would like to play it. I would like to try it out. But that game...
we gave it a shot.
That game disappeared off the face of the earth.
Well, it's not that it disappeared. It's just
it disappeared.
No one looked at it. And so it may as well have disappeared. I'm sure it's still there. It's still being run and everything.
I know that because I follow Gearbox like everywhere. It's like they're updating it, and they have characters. They have this whole DLC plan. I wonder what the numbers are for that game. I really do wonder. Will they reveal it anytime soon? I highly doubt it.
No, but I'm more than sure that they hemorrhaged.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure they'll be above water though. They made a ton of money.
For another Borderlands.
I mean, that's a real thing. When was it? Like at this point, like 2 years ago now, at PAX South, the first one, Randy Pitchford said that it's like Borderlands 3 is going to happen, you know, but they haven't.
When we don't know.
Yeah, when we don't know. I would assume at this point, that some of that team is like, yeah, let's start, let's roll, let's get this going because they need
faster. We lost like a bit of money.
Yeah, they did. But at the same time, I think I had my problems with the whole game, but I think despite that, I think it's cool that they did something a little different from Borderlands. I just wish, and we've had this conversation before, that Battleborn was still a thing, but with Borderlands characters. I think that people would have taken to it a lot more.
People would have taken to it a lot more. I'm personally happy that they didn't.
I understand that, because they got some cool character designs. Yeah.
Like, and I think we had said this before, like, everything as it is right now for it, but like maybe have one or two characters.
Cameos.
Yeah. That, I would have been okay with that.
That would have been good.
And maybe a different release date. Not even maybe.
I mean, no, they should have definitely not released it like close, even anywhere near the time that Overwatch
I would have been okay if they made up like, oh, we're pushing it back because we have to work on something came up, guys. We'll wait, but just push it the fuck back, like right now. Even right now seems like...
No, and this is the thing, this reminds me kind of with, on a totally different scale, but it reminds me of Rise of the Tomb Raider last year with Fallout 4. Mm-hmm. But then I look at Rise of the Tomb Raider and remember the games coming out around that time, it's like there was nowhere good for it. Like, especially as an exclusive game.
Time slot-wise?
Yeah, like Halo 5, Call of Duty...
Oh, I remember.
There was like, and I think one of the guys that works for Microsoft on an interview, he said yeah, that was kind of, there was no real good time to release the game, so we just put it, and it's like at the same time I'm like, man, you should have just released that when Call of Duty came out, because Fallout 4 is on another fucking level that year. People were stupid hyped for this game.
Yeah.
And so, it's not necessarily the same thing with Battleborn, because Battleborn didn't come out at the same time that Overwatch did. But, do you remember this? That stab in the back, kind of like Overwatch released their beta the day Battleborn came out?
Yeah.
You know? Which is, man, damn. I don't know if that has to be on purpose. Like, it has to be. Blizzard Like, I like them a lot, but man, do they play dirty sometimes. This is them playing dirty.
Yeah, they got to keep that playground on their side.
Yeah, absolutely. In the end, it's a business, right? Which is why, from a business perspective, I said it would have made more sense if Battleborn, instead of calling it Battleborn, it was just, or they could have still called it that, but they could have called it Borderlands Battlefield, Borderlands, like, and then like a subtitle, and it's like, hey, it's a Borderlands multiplayer game, which I assume at this point they would consider a Borderlands multiplayer for Borderlands 3. Which would make a lot of... I think at this point would make some kind of sense.
Like that idea.
But not like a deathmatch kind of thing. Something like... objective-oriented. I think that would make a little more sense. I don't like the idea of a deathmatch kind of... That makes no sense for me in the Borderlands world. Mm-hmm. But I guess co-op is a bit... Obviously, co-op is a major part of it. But I think that if they want the game to have more legs and, like, kind of build off of what they build with Battleborn, they would totally add something like that in Borderlands 3. Man, there's too many games with a B.
Maybe a set of like super dungeons that you can grind for.
Okay,
stuff.
Cool, yeah.
Not necessarily super dungeons, but just dungeons that you can farm.
Sure,
I'd be okay with that.
Cool
for Borderlands.
I like Borderlands a lot. I'm super. I mean, I'm not into it like a lot of people I know, but I'm enough to be.
I was into it enough that I was grinding for legendaries.
Yeah,
and like
didn't get that far.
That's a whole other thing where you're just like, low checkpoint, kill this thing, did I get it? No. Low checkpoint, kill this thing, did I get it?
Borderlands 2 just has so much content, and I fell in love with it. Like, it's a great game, and I never got to finish the pre-sequel. That's probably something I should probably play, because I bought it on PC and never played it, because I bought it to play with some friends, and then they abandoned me. So I never played it. But, yeah, Battleborn. What I think about, like, release date, right? We never got back into that, but it's like, well, maybe earlier in the year would have made sense, because in the fall it's like, bro, you're going up against Call of Duty, Battlefront, God damn it! The bees! There's too many bees! Battlefield!
Not the bees!
Not the bees! Not the bees! And Titanfall, and there's a bunch of shit coming out in the fall. It probably didn't have any place to go, and they thought, well, we're gonna release late spring, early summer, and then I don't know. I wonder if they said, oh wait, Overwatch is coming out. And this is the thing. I know the game isn't bad. I know that that the TV videos are really great in showing that it's not, because he actually liked Battleborn quite a bit, but it's just bad time.
Yeah,
bad time.
It was placement that killed it, not bugs or lack of content or anything.
Like, everything on that game was supposed to be on the spot. Like, good comedic writing.
Yeah.
The storyline was its own thing. Like, everything was going for it. It's just they rolled a one with their time slot.
Yeah, they did.
On when to release it.
And you know what? And a lot of the reviews that I read for it were like, some people really didn't like it, some people really did like it. But I think overall, people that are hardcore, not necessarily Borderlands fans, but like Gearbox fans, will probably stick to it. I just don't know how long that'll be. Mm-hmm. I think that eventually the game is probably heavily discounted, like you said, heavily discounted by now. Especially, I think the week after, 2 weeks after when Overwatch came out, they discounted like 50% or something.
Damn.
Yeah, which is that's quite the hit.
Yeah.
But in the end, I love Gearbox. I think they're a great studio with a lot of potential. Alien Colonial Marines notwithstanding. But yeah, I totally forgot about that game. You made a good point. The next game, which is a big one for me, obviously, is Uncharted 4. And you know what? I actually haven't thought about it for a little while. I don't know if that says anything about what I think of the game, but I definitely think that, looking at it now, it doesn't have like this intense, everlasting impression that Last of Us has on me. Like, Last of Us scarred me, you know, for better or for worse, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, that's a totally different game. It's a much darker, very adult-themed kind of game. And Uncharted still has that, but Uncharted, it just, without spoiling it ends. I'm very satisfied with its ending. Let's just put it that way. Very satisfied. I walked away happy with the way it ended. I still think it's probably up definitely for best PS4 game of the year, maybe. Narrative. Absolutely. I think there are very few games so far that I played this year that hit the narrative on the spot. I mean, Naughty Dog is a narrative powerhouse, in my opinion. But there's still a lot of games coming out this year. But I think for me personally, it's going to be in my top 10 for sure. I know you guys haven't actually gotten a chance to play it.
No, I haven't.
But I've been watching the Let's Play.
Oh, Jesse Cox play? Yeah. It's a beautiful looking game too.
Yeah.
But that's a big one for me.
I have the feeling that people will try to push it as Game of the Year. I don't know if it will succeed as Game of the Year.
Like Game of the Year for a lot of publications, maybe not, but it'll I think a lot of publications have Xbox One Game of the Year, and PS4 Game of the Year. I think PS4 Game of the Year it's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion. I think even graphically, it could be up for best looking game of the year too, because it looks I said this after the week after when it first came out when we recorded the podcast. I said I love TB, but I totally disagree with him about a game not looking good at 30 frames per second, because the game runs at 30 frames per second and it looks fucking incredible. Mm-hmm. I think that's one game where I wonder if he's commenting on that. I haven't seen him comment on that, but I would love to shoot him with... Actually, no, he doesn't do social media anymore, right?
Yeah.
So never mind. But I would like to know his opinions on that game, if anything, if he's played them. But that's kind of... I think that's kind of it. I'm trying to think of stuff that's come out recently.
At this point, I'm hoping Marcos is yelling at the sky, you idiots, you forgot, blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 something. Yeah. Blah, 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 something. Blank, something.
No, Street Fighter V was this year.
That's right. Yes.
Guilty Exar Revelator was very recently.
Yeah.
Boy, is that game pretty.
The Guilty Gear Revelator is definitely a best-looking fighting game.
Yeah, absolutely. Those games look fucking incredible. Yeah. I can't believe it's a fighting game. That's part of the reason why I like it so much, because it looks nice.
No, unfortunately, fighting games don't really get nominated for Game of the Year.
They have their own category, but the thing about that is that even do you remember last year at the Keeley Awards? I don't know if you remember, but there was it was literally 2 games, right? And not even Guilty Gear was up for an award. It was just Mortal Kombat, and what's that game that got canceled that got bought out by Riot?
Thunder?
The mech game.
Yeah.
Rising Thunder.
Rising Thunder.
Yeah, that game was up for an award.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, it is sad, but at the same time, it's I look at the awards, bro, that game isn't even out.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And they gave it to Mortal Kombat, deservedly so, but it's I think that it's such a weird thing because fighting games are not, there's not a billion of them every year. So that's kind of a weird position to be put in, but I know for a lot of people the game will I'm pretty sure for you guys it'll be in your top 10, if anything.
Likely.
Yeah.
This year is heavy on fighting games. What was it?
Street
Fighter, Revelator.
There's a BlazBlue that came out this year, no?
In Japan.
Okay.
Yes. In Japan. Tekken is out this year.
That's right, Tekken 7, man,
it looks
good.
It's looking really good.
It does look good.
I think KOF might be next year. Maybe
King Fighters?
King Fighters.
I think it's next year.
But
Injustice? When is Injustice 2 coming out?
Injustice should be next year.
I would assume next year.
I think.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So there's been a nice chunk of fighting games this year. They've all been pretty good, also.
Yeah. So far, so good. I will mention I haven't played it yet. I know a lot of people are disappointed about this one. Mirror's Edge Catalyst came out a couple weeks ago.
Right.
I still want to play it because I love the world and I love the character, but I know that people were not very happy. People were it's an okay game, but it's not what we wanted from Mirror's Edge. A lot of people at the same time said it's more Mirror's Edge. And the thing is, Mirror's Edge came out such a long time ago, nobody thought there would ever be a sequel. But I think at this point, it's safe to say that I could get it discounted now, because the game didn't do very well. I need to see for myself. But I know that was a big game for people that people were really looking forward to. I haven't played this game. Let me see. I think it's out already. But I've heard some people talk about it. Odin Sphere.
Oh
yeah.
Right.
I heard that it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful looking game.
That's an old game.
Oh, it is an old game?
It's a PS2 game that they remastered.
Oh, okay, right on.
But Odin Sphere is an excellent title.
Looks beautiful.
It should be said, Odin Sphere looks pretty back on the PS2.
Really?
Yeah.
Odin Sphere still looks pretty on HD remastered.
Yeah.
And others like those guys. I forgot Vanillaware.
I think so. Yeah.
But those guys make beautiful fucking games.
Dragon's Crown.
Muramasa. The Demon Blade.
Mm-hmm.
And Odin Sphere. I think those are the three major ones that I do remember.
Yeah.
And like
beautiful looking games. Art style's incredible. Yeah.
Also, they have a thing for food.
Yeah.
And making it in the most beautiful way possible. Yeah.
They have the Miyazaki complex.
Gotcha.
And good God, bless them for it. Like, everything looks so damn good in that game.
They look good. I'll mention a couple more and then we can move on. But my number 9 did come out. A lot of people hated it.
I'm sorry, what?
Nobody. I don't think anyone liked that game.
What? Mighty what?
Mighty Lost Figures.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is unfortunate.
And it's like it would have had some merit if it was just like a mediocre game. But not only was it a mediocre game, it was also buggy as crap.
Yeah.
So.
And there was a lot of problems with backers getting their codes, getting it for the wrong console, stuff like that. That's unfortunate. I hope that Inafune does a better job next time.
Yep.
Assuming there will be a next time.
Assuming.
If anything, like I said before, this shows that even the most trusted developer, you should be wary about Kickstarters if they go to a Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. I'm really hoping that. Oh wait, I'm talking. Is it the right person? Who's the guy behind Castlevania? What's his name? Is his name?
Iga. Yeah, Igarashi.
We've talked about this a little bit before. People are really digging the demo, but I hope that this is not the same fate. I really hope. I love Castlevania stuff, so I really hope it doesn't suffer the same fate. But yeah, that game came out this year. Finally, after nearly 4 years after it kickstarted.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. But I wonder if I wouldn't be surprised if like any kind of lawsuits would come out of this.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
These are not like, I wouldn't say good mentions, but Umbrella Corps came out this last week, and it's a shit game.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Which one's Umbrella Corps?
Which is the Resident Evil online shooter.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's right. Like, stealth launch. The reviews are terrible. Like, it's not a good game. I didn't expect that.
I need to look up the reviews.
They're pretty bad. They're pretty terrible. Like, some of the reviews I read is like, there's nothing salvageable here. Like, some people don't even know why this game was even made. You know, which hopefully they'll turn it around with Resident Evil 7, which was promising. I have not played this, but I really want to play this. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, hashtag FE. I've heard really good things about it. It's I like
turn-based, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is. But it's some cool collaboration stuff going on there, so I really dig that.
With Fire Emblem.
And Persona.
Yes, which is the reason why I want to play it. And then the last one I'll make, two more. Zero Time Dilemma, which I haven't played. I played 666, 999, sorry, 666. Technically the same thing. I do want to play it. I've heard, actually, I think Teddy on bass has picked it up for the 3DS.
Another one on that counter.
Yeah. And I've heard really good things about it. And Inside,
right,
which came out this past week, and holy fucking
people
shit.
People are talking about that. I haven't seen it, but people are talking about that.
Game of the Year contender. I haven't played it yet. It's coming out next week on Steam or Windows 10, I think. I will make an effort to pick it up because I love Limbo. And I've heard this game will blow your fucking mind. And I cannot wait for that. It's fucking... most of the reviews have been so vague because they came out saying that the reason why you didn't see much of it in the past 2 E3s is because if they showed any more of that game, it would have spoiled the whole point of the game.
Wow. So
I'm impressed that it's done really well, and I hope people buy it because I want this studio Playdead to continue making games like this. So I think for a lot of people, it's very clearly Game of the Year contender.
Wow.
Yeah, for a lot of people, favorite game of the year so far, which is incredible. But that's cool. It's cool to see these indie games really make a big impression on people, right? So that's important. But that's kind of it so far this year. The next big games for a lot of people don't come out until September.
Yeah.
Fuck me, that's a long time. August is kind of when it kicks off with Madden and stuff like that, but nobody really... I don't care about that.
Legion for me in August.
That's right,
yeah,
Legion.
So,
Yeah.
and then this month I have Monster Hunter.
That's right, Monster Hunter's coming out soon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming I won't see you guys for a couple weeks, and I'm going to be recording the podcast alone. It's like a little diary. Or while we record, you guys gonna be playing it.
On the 3D.
Dude, don't
Lord.
you tempt me. Don't you tempt me.
Like Ben with your life powder, Ben. Life powder.
No. I'm just gonna be gathering honey. While on podcast time, that's when you go for the honey.
But yeah, that's it for this so far this year. If you have, real quick, I guess we can go around the room. What's your favorite game so far that has come out this year that you've played?
For me, I suppose it would have to be Street Fighter V.
Awesome.
It's just I'm thoroughly enjoying that game. I'm not sure if I can. See, I really enjoyed Dark Souls 3, but I haven't played a
more
lot
of it.
So,
Yeah. All right.
so
Ben,
I don't know.
favorite
man.
game so far that you played this year?
It's a lot of stuff.
I'm not saying the best game. I'm saying what's the one game that you really got your attention
Specifically for this year.
so far? Or we're only halfway done.
Yeah. I honestly don't know, man.
No?
Like, there are,
You're stuck between a bunch of stuff.
yeah,
All right. It's okay.
it's good stuff. It's a lot of good stuff.
Uncharted.
yeah,
It's kind of a no-brainer, to be honest. Also, I haven't played a lot of recent releases. I will say, though, really surprised about Doom. Really surprised, really happy with how that game came out. But Uncharted just takes the narrative cake so far. So, if I had played Inside, I would probably say Inside. I don't know yet, but it's looking pretty fucking good. Game's getting straight 10s across the board, which is incredible. But yeah, so far Uncharted. And I hope that changes, though, because I want games, the rest of the games that are coming out this year to be good. You know?
There's still quite a few releases to look forward to. So.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm hoping, man, I was really hoping, are there any big RPGs coming out? Well, we're not getting Persona until next year, so that doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, it's because I probably just want more Bethesda games. Oh, wait, Dishonored's coming out then. Holy shit, Dishonored's coming out very soon.
Yeah.
The game looks hot. But okay. We're done with that.
Alright.
We're good on time, too.
Good on.
We're good on time.
I think
Where
before
are we at?
Oh,
We're at 120.
120?
that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Too bad.
Yeah. I think before we get on to our next topic, we should just take a little break.
Sure, that's fine with me.
It's time to go on a crazy tangent.
All right, we'll be back in a little bit.
Okay.
All right. And we're back, kind of.
Yeah.
We're here. You got the frog out of your throat.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
It was pretty big frog. Yeah.
Quack.
Oh, can I name it Warcraft?
Well, Warcraft the Frog.
Warcraft the Frog. Oh, you sent me something. All right. So
That's something you can watch.
yeah, it's something we'll watch later. Speaking of Warcraft and frogs, not really frogs. I wanted to discuss the movie a little bit. So, Capello, you did watch the movie, you saw it in theaters.
Yep.
I'm going to ask you what your thoughts on the movie were first. What did you think of it as a movie, and, like, does it pay respects to the lore and what Warcraft is, and what do you think of it overall?
Alright, so when I went to first see Warcraft, I saw it basically as a super fan.
Sure.
So take my... my words should be taken as such, you know. Like, I do love Warcraft, and I will have some bias, and, you know, stuff like that. But I have to say, I thought the movie was entertaining, you know. I thought it was worth watching, you know. I think ticket price was fine for that movie. As far as the story goes, they changed some things, but it's not that... You know, they've done way worse in the actual game in changing the story, okay. So it wasn't that big a deal. And then the acting was a little campy, not the best acting. Some actors had very strong roles, and Medivh basically, and I forgot what his actual name is, but he did a really good job playing Medivh. And overall, I thought it was a good movie, and that I really feel like the critics were we're going in like trying to bleed the movie.
Trying to hate on it.
Yeah, just trying.
Going in negatively already,
Yes.
which a lot of critics, I mean, if you're getting paid to do this, you should go in neutral,
Yeah.
kind of with no expectations and seeing where it leads from there.
I really feel a lot of the critics had no idea what they were talking about, and they were just, some people did have absolutely perfectly valid, complaints about the movie.
The acting,
Yeah, like the acting. But like a lot of the critics, they were talking out of their ass, and a lot of it was solely for clickbait.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like after like going back, having a hindsight, I see like a lot of that stuff was people just trying to bring in the views and
Sure.
trying to bring in angry Warcraft fans to give them money. So.
Sure.
So, but that's besides the point. The actual movie, I felt was a decent movie. It wasn't like mind-blowingly good, but it's worth a watch, and I really enjoyed it.
Cool. All right. Ben, you haven't seen it, have you? You're not like into Warcraft at all, like really.
I'm not.
It's not your thing.
Like, I have an idea of certain characters.
Sure.
I have a very loose grasp of like what's happening in it.
Sure.
But like, I haven't played the game.
Yeah. You're into other stuff.
I played some Blizzard-related games.
Sure. Yeah,
But like, I don't know a whole lot of anything in it.
Well, I think Warcraft is the kind of thing that, I mean, it's something you can get into at any time, technically, right? But it's the kind of thing where if you weren't into it, if you weren't part of that the first couple of years, and you missed a lot, or since then, like subscription base has gone down a little bit. It has
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, I watched it last week after we recorded the podcast, or the day after, and I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. I thought it was pretty good, despite, and I'm going to say this, despite, it has its caveats, like, the acting is not particularly good. The only performances that I thought were pretty good were the Orc Duratan, and the half-orc, I don't remember her name. Garona, right?
The half-orc.
The halfling, they call her halfling, right? And the king, what's the king's name?
Lane.
I thought those were the stronger performances. What was interesting to me is that I actually got attached to some of the characters, like the dude, the one soldier dude with the son, I don't remember his name either. Anduin?
Yeah, Anduin Lothar. Yeah.
Okay, Lothar, they call him Lothar in the movie. So the actor that plays him is actually in Viking. So I've been watching, that's probably the reason why I was like, oh, I recognize this actor. And you said you liked the Guardian.
Yes, Medivh.
Which actually, I don't know anything about the character, but I know that the actor Ben Foster is someone that I like quite a bit. I didn't think his performance was great. I thought it was okay, but I think the standout was probably the other ones that I mentioned. Like Duratan was pretty good, but I walked into it thinking I know this is not a good movie, and I walked away from it thinking the complete opposite. And I have to agree with you about the critics. I think a lot of them don't know what they're talking about when it comes to. This is the thing. A lot of them don't understand WoW or what it is or what the story is, right? I would imagine some absolutely do, right? And like you said, some of them make valid points. But why I think it's actually a pretty decent movie is the world building. I think Duncan Jones, who is a director, who's, I should note, has played WoW for like 10 years since it was created. Yeah. I think he understands the lore probably better than anyone else, in the shoes of a director could. And I think that he definitely pays a lot of respect to that stuff. It's again, the story's very cohesive compared to a lot, and I'm comparing this to like other summer blockbusters, which I would say it's probably my favorite summer blockbuster this year. Like, I think it's way better than half of the stuff I saw, all of the stuff I saw in theaters, including Cloverfield Lane, which was pretty good until the ending. We had a major discussion about this before. We had
a big discussion about it.
We did.
Now that taking just a little bit to the side.
Now
that it's been a while, I can say good things about Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
It's just the ending did just leave. That's just the most terrible taste in my mouth.
Absolutely, and I have to agree with you. But I think that and the perspective I look at it for that movie is that like it's about the journey.
Yeah.
The ending definitely left a sour taste in my mouth, but the journey to it was
excellent.
Awesome. Yeah, it was a great. And John Goodman, like he
excellent role
acting. I think
know.
he kind of carries that movie overall because his performance is so sporadic, and it's like you didn't know what to expect from him next, right? Because his character was all over the place. But I still think Warcraft is a better movie. Is that weird for me to say? Like, I think that it was enjoyable, but it was enjoyable to a point. And this is the thing: most of the summer movies that have come out this year have not been very good, unfortunately. People have their opinions. That's mine. But even then, again, the world building. And honestly, the way magic is represented in the movie is probably like it's very good. I think Mikey had mentioned to me that he thought it was a little overdone.
Well, actually, I think it was a little overdone.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think like visually it was fantastic,
yes.
And it's very quite representative of the magic in World of Warcraft. The thing is that I think it was. A little bit over, like just a little bit over the top. Like I felt that if they had made it just a tad bit more subtle, it would have sort of like solidified the world a bit.
Sure.
It felt like very visually impressive. Obviously,
it was. It definitely was.
But like I just a little too much.
Okay.
And I didn't dislike it. I just felt that it went a little farther than it should have.
I understand. I will say, talking about the visuals, the orcs, like they look really good. Like they look better than it deserves to be.
The motion capture for the orcs is absolutely
incredible. You can see the sweat coming off of their skin. Like I don't like it's like. I mean, totally different kind of style, but it's like Pixar level, and even more so in terms of detail. Mm-hmm. And I was thoroughly impressed with the way they looked. It didn't like orcs when the orcs were fighting the humans. It didn't look off.
Yeah,
it looked like orcs are fighting humans. You know, I was very impressed with that. And again, like it's just the world building is so good for me that I can look the other way when it comes to the acting. And I know at this point, like, the movie has done incredibly well. We talked about it in China, it did stupid good.
Yeah.
And domestically, I'm pretty sure it did pretty good, too. But, do we know that they've greenlit sequels to the movies? They have already.
There is a green light for the second movie.
Okay. I'll watch that.
There was a critic that Benny had put up, like,
on this?
Who was falling asleep, unfortunately.
Oh.
He didn't put it on... He didn't put it on base.
Okay.
I think he showed it to me a couple of weeks back. I'm not sure who it was particularly, but they had said like these movies. Like, it says the beginning, but they're clearly not getting a sequel. Well, I'm sorry to say,
totally
man,
wrong.
you're just right off of the fucking road right there. You know, because it's definitely getting another one.
Yeah.
Who was it?
I don't remember. I think it was something Cubed, the channel, or. But you did show me a critic, and the critic had some stuff. You know, I don't feel like that critic in particular was like trying being hateful.
He was just
giving
like his honest opinion.
Giving his honest opinion, but definitely some stuff that I didn't agree with.
Yeah.
So about the world building actually. I have heard from a few people, none of the people who have liked it, but that they really didn't explain enough in the story. And I'm sure we can, like, by your reaction immediately, I'm sure we can come to some sort of unified consensus. This is called Warcraft: The Beginning.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you every last bit of lore information on the first movie. You know, it's you're not going to know everything. It's the first it's the introduction.
Not supposed to.
You know, it's the introduction to the world.
And this is the thing about that. I had this conversation with I think even with Mikey. A lot of video game movies, a lot of them completely alienate what the game is and what the story is and its core audience, right? For the hopes of attracting the massive audiences, right? Because in the end, movies are a business. But and for a lot of people, that's like, for us, that's a turnoff, right? And for people in the masses, like, no, well, I liked it because I understood it. In this case, and this is somebody who doesn't know a lot about WoW, right? Aside from the lore videos that he made a playlist for me a while ago, I like that it does the opposite. It alienates the mass audiences, but it stays true to the people that actually are going. Yes, and even for me, again, somebody that doesn't know a lot about it, I was like, I like this. I like that it just throws me into this world. I enjoyed that. And that's where I oppose the critics who say that, like, it wasn't explained. It's like, bro, I don't need it to be explained. I think, and this is what Blizzard really wanted. You know, I'm pretty sure they had a lot of influence, obviously, like in the actual making of the movie. I think that maybe for some people, this will get them into it, because now I do want to know more about the world and the universe that is World of Warcraft or Warcraft. So I completely disagree with the critics on that at that point.
And like over and over again, it's been stated that this is a film that was made by fans for the fans.
Yeah,
and as a fan, I'm not disappointed. I think like. I saw a lot of stuff that I like just by recognizing it brought me just a little bit of joy.
Yeah.
And you know, and like I know the motivations and I know where this is going, and it's just great to see it like visually come to like a very impressive media.
Yeah.
You know, it's like as a fan, and I feel like a lot of fans did not come out of that movie disappointed.
Yeah.
Now, like seeing, since you're clearly not like a real like a big fan.
I'm not.
I'm
not.
You know, it's actually great to see that like other people also got some enjoyment out of the film. Yeah.
I think that the movie is very enjoyable, and I won't lie, I watched it again like 2 days after. Like, I thought it was a movie that I can watch repeatedly, because again, I can't say this enough. Like, the acting was not good, but like the characters are. I like them. I like the characters. You know, even what's his name again? The soldier guy with the kid. Lothar. He's. I like his character. Like, the acting was not good, but I like his character a lot. It works. Yeah. Also, the movie is paced excellently. Yeah. Like, I look at other summer blockbusters. Like, again, I'm gonna go back to BVS. Like, Batman vs Superman was, what the fuck was happening with the pacing? It was all over the place. And this movie was paced extremely well. It had some slow moments, but it was never out of place. It didn't feel like jarring to go from a battle into like a moment where there's a lot of dialogue, right? But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good movie. And this is the thing, and this is where I'm going to go into it. Like, I don't think you're very biased about the movie because you understand its faults. But not that you need your opinion justified, but I guarantee you're not very biased on it, because as someone that's not a fan, I agree with you completely on the movie. So,
like, I can easily recognize that the movie had some stuff in it that wasn't the best, you know.
Absolutely.
It does have its caveats, as you said. But that being said, like, what the bad about it is not heavy enough to unjustified the good in it.
Exactly.
So,
I agree with you completely. And if anything, like you said, it's like a fan movie with a massive budget on an epic scale. That's what it is, because it feels that way. And you know what? That's fine, because I think that at this point it is the most successful video game movie ever made.
Yeah.
At the same time, there aren't a lot of other big movies to compare to, except for Resident Evil, because Resident Evil does bank when that movie comes out, and there's the last one's coming out very soon, if I'm not mistaken. I hope this paves the way for studios to be interested in video game stuff, and I hope this is a good example of, hey, we can still respect the core and still make a ton of money, right? So I hope that's the future for it. Also, I think the last thing I'll say is that I would assume Duncan Jones is going to continue directing it, because I would imagine at this point it makes no sense for anyone else to do that.
I hope he does, because he didn't do a bad job directing.
He didn't do a bad job at all. He has a very interesting perspective on how directing should be done. And if anything, I recommend hearing the Game Informer interview that he has, like an hour long. It's really good. But yeah, I liked it. I liked it, and I was about to say it's my favorite. It's my favorite summer blockbuster this year, but I just watched The Green Room last night, and it's not a summer blockbuster. It's an indie movie, but The Green Room is definitely my favorite. But I would have never thought in a million years that I would say that I really enjoyed the Warcraft movie over everything else that came out this year. So it's good stuff.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It's good.
I'll watch it again, and I'll watch the second movie and the third, assuming that's the thing, which probably will be a thing.
If the third one comes out and they do it correctly, it would probably be the best one.
That's awesome.
Because that Warcraft 3 has the best story.
I'm excited with how these movies continue, and I know you know what happens next, but I technically don't.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. And that's it.
Yeah.
We're done for today. Benny's like ready to go home and fall asleep, probably. Yeah, you're gonna take a nap.
Nah.
But all right, well, I guess that's it for today and this week. We'll see you next week. I have no idea what we're talking about next week, but we will see.
Hopefully, some news.
Something up.
Yeah, some news pops up because
I think news is
good.
These
past few weeks have been a little dry on news. So we're doing
it's like
different
you said
things.
sometime back. Like
the summer's dry as fuck.
We got out of
E3, so
and then
it's the silence from E3.
The Silence of the Lambs, and then August comes around, leading into the storm that is the fall.
The fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when everything comes out. So
yeah. It's literally like you open your door when you wake up in the morning, just games are just slapping you in the face. Like, fucking buy it! Buy this! Alright.
October's going to be pretty spooky.
October's going to be stupid.
Oh, God.
Stupid.
October is going to be like no money in your wallet.
My wallet is going to escape my room. It's going to try to leave this place. But,
see your wallet hanging on a piece of yarn.
Yep.
Like a noose, just kind of...
Look, I go down the stairs and I see it there, like, dangling. A little chair under it, like somehow it kicked it off. The flip kicked it off.
A little plastic Barbie chair.
Yeah.
Just comedically large enough to fit a little wallet.
It's like, no. Alright. Well, that's it. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day, and aside from record the other thing later tonight, I wonder if I'm gonna be able to stay away from Fallout. Well, after this, when you guys leave, I'm gonna start editing because it is Sunday.
I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna start Fallout. I'm like,
okay.
I don't want to do that right now. But all right.
You have like a 40-minute video you can watch.
That's true. I have a ton of videos I need to watch, but I will watch whatever you send me. That's it. Have a good week. Because this will not go up today. This will go tomorrow, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Adios, everyone.
Later, people.
Bye.